Ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome to Meet People, the podcast of the Southwest Meat Association. I can't wait to have these conversations, and we're going to do everything we can to make it entertaining and valuable and a great representation of meeting the people.
Welcome back to the Meet People podcast. We're glad you're joining us for another episode.
I am Brittany Moore, SMA's Communication Operations Manager.
And I'm Lacey Bates, VP of Member Services here at SMA.
So today's a little bit different because we are actually kicking off something brand new for the Meet People podcast. So going forward, Lacey and I will actually be joining you about twice a year to recap SMA's two biggest events of the year. So that's going to be our SMA Annual Convention and Supplier Showcase and our Meet Forum.
We spend months planning these events, and while attendees get to experience everything firsthand, there are always stories, behind-the-scenes moments, funny memories, and highlights that never make it into photos or social media posts.
So after each convention and meet forum, we will sit down together to recap the events, share our favorite moments and maybe our not so favorite moments, talk about what went into making these events happen, highlight some of the people who made it special, and of course, fill you in on everything you may have missed if you did not attend.
And since this was Brittany's very first SMA convention and my ninth, we thought it would be fun to compare perspectives, a first-timer experiencing it all for the first time versus someone who's seen the event evolve over the years.
So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we look back at the 70th Annual SMA Convention Supplier Showcase in Galveston, Texas. From 4 days of networking and education to our golf tournament, our Supplier Showcase, our Best of the Worst event, the auctions, and just plenty of unforgettable moments. And we've just got a lot to cover today.
All right, so let's jump into it.
Yeah, so again, this year's event was held at Moody Gardens in Galveston, Texas, and we had about 532 attendees. That's pretty good for Galveston, Texas, I'd say.
Absolutely. And this was our third time returning to Galveston, to the Moody Gardens resorts, and it's just a great family-friendly atmosphere, and I think that's something that we try and strive for when we select venues, is finding something where members, suppliers, speakers, and even the scholarship winners can come and have a lot of fun and bring their families and enjoy the attractions there at the venue.
Absolutely, I agree. It was definitely family oriented. It was really nice to see a lot of the members bringing out their little ones and even some of their teenagers and just being able to get out there and make some good family fun memories together.
Absolutely. So I think let's just go right on down the agenda and do it day by day.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's kick us off, Lacey.
All right. So Wednesday, we kicked it off with day one, welcoming our student workers who were absolutely phenomenal this year. Again, with this being my ninth convention, I don't think I've ever seen a group of student workers, and girls at that, get along as well as these girls did.
They really did. They really connected from day one. They really hit it off. And I definitely noticed that that's going to be some lifelong friendships from here on out. So we had a total of 4 student workers from 4 different universities, and we want to get a shout out to each of these ladies. So we had Bryce Bocard from Texas A&M University, Addie Fulmer from West Texas A&M University, Brooklyn Wiley from Texas Tech University, and Audrey Potter from Tarleton State University.
Yes, absolutely. And again, there's one person we can't go without mentioning, and that's our SMA intern, Meredith Magliolo from Texas A&M University. She's been with us since mid-May. And so she has been in the intricate portions of planning the convention, and she has jumped right on in, and she has kind of made it her own, and she's been great. And we really saw her shine last week during the convention.
Absolutely. I mean, from the first day that she came into the office and we threw her into an SMA social media reel right off the bat, and she really just jumped in, fit right in, and just really kind of acted like she's been here for a long time. And so if you did miss it, we actually did an Instagram and Facebook reel with our student workers, and it's actually already gotten almost over 4,000 views, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, we couldn't have done that again without our amazing student workers and without the universities that they attend helping us share that reel across platforms. So make sure you go check that out. If you haven't seen it already, it's one of our most popular social media videos to date.
Yes. And so once we got those girls welcomed in together, we started off with registration, and it was great. I think Meredith did a lot of the hard work in designing our posters, our banners, and everything. And it really made our registration desk just pop. And I believe that a lot of our attendees have made it easy for them to find us. And then we went to our welcome reception.
Yeah, and that was an absolute blast, especially for me. With this being my first convention, the welcome reception was one event out of every event that I was most excited for, and just get out there, be able to shake hands with people, introduce myself, and meet some of them are amazing members. And that's exactly what I did. So I had conversations with members from multiple different companies and some of our exhibitors that were first-time exhibitors that were really excited to join SMA and get involved and meet some of the fellow members and the industry connections.
Yeah, so it really does. That welcome reception really sets the tone for the rest of the week as we move forward. And we'll talk about a little bit more of our receptions as we get through this podcast. But
absolutely.
But I would say before that, we had our board meeting, and it was great to really see all of our board members again and to recognize those that are going to be joining the board here. Well, they're newly inducted as of Saturday.
Yeah, as of recent.
And so I would like to go ahead and point out Jeff Chernusek with J Bar B Foods will be joining our executive committee. So he's going to be really involved in a lot of the future of SMA over the next 3 years. And then we also welcome Jace Hollenbeck with Hawkins. He's been phenomenal helping us plan the Friday night dinner and auction, and he did a great job this year. And we'll definitely talk about that some more here in a little bit. And then again, we welcome Brian Sapp from Fatback Pig Project all the way from Alabama. And so it's really great to see other members from across the country because, again, we're in 37 states now. So it's great. And then again, a returning board member is Jason Byer from ABF Packing.
Yeah, no, we have a phenomenal group of individuals on our board. And me with only starting SMA in January, only being here about 7-8 months now. I mean, those group of individuals just really welcomed me with open arms. They've been so supportive of all of my crazy social media ideas and new marketing and advertising opportunities for our members, and just really made me feel so welcomed and just really helped me get acclimated and helped me feel like I fit right in there. So I'm very excited to see where these new members just take us and take our board this next year.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on to Thursday.
Absolutely.
The attack.
The attack of the mosquitoes.
It was the Thursday theme for sure.
Absolutely.
We woke up early on Thursday to attend the Bob Andusek Memorial Golf Tournament, which is a huge fundraiser for the SMA Scholarship Program, or SMA Foundation Scholarship Program, I should say. And Brittany started off with what she does best, making another reel.
Yeah, no, so during my welcome reception, I spotted a few Start Clean guys and I was like, hey, y'all interested in being in an SMA, a social media video? And they were all so excited. They were all so ready. And so when we all showed up Thursday morning, they came and found me and were like, all right, just tell me what to do and let's make it happen. And so again, if you have not seen that Thursday reel at the golf course with some of the Start Clean people, definitely go check that out on our social media. We got a lot of really great feedback, a lot of people that got the Remember the Titans reference on that one. And so that one was, again, one of our most popular reels to date.
I tell you, you can always count on the Start Clean guys to really step up and be supporters of SMA and
absolutely
all of the little antics that we have throughout the convention.
Absolutely.
But with our golf tournament, we had, I believe it was 110 golfers, give or take. But one of the highlights to the golf tournament is having our long drive pro Mike Dobbin there and to help raise money for charity as well as for the scholarship program. And I tell you, you stand behind Mike when he hits that ball, you can hear it
and you can feel it. I mean, I was up there and getting some photo and video content, and I really couldn't tell whether the wind was just coming from the beach or whether it was coming from his swing. I was thoroughly impressed, and it was a really cool experience to actually be able to see a 2-time champion just be able to hit that ball so far. And he had that flag out there, and Joe Harris was like, watch him. He's going to hit it way past that goal. And he sure did. Every time he hit that ball, it went flying past that flag. And it was just a great opportunity to see him out there.
Absolutely. And we set another record with Mike. We raised $16,860, which we split 50-50 with Mike and his charity as well at the SMA. So another close to $7,600 that's going towards SMA Foundation scholarships right there.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
So I guess I'm not. But do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about those little pests out there?
Let me just tell you, I think the only thing I can say is those mosquitoes out on that golf course really need a restraining order. I mean, it was so bad. And I went out there, and Lacey and I went out there to grab a golf cart, drive around, check on our members, check on how they were doing, and of course, grab some content. And we made it to hole 5 or 6, and we were getting swarmed. And all I kept telling Lacey was, I got to get out of here. And I just know our members and these golfers got to get out of here too, because it was that bad.
Yes, but they stuck it out, and I'm going to highlight some of our golf winners.
Yeah.
All right. So closest to the pin was Will Boyd with Start Clean. Our longest drive male was Cliff Vaughn from Cuatro Cinco Enterprises, and the female, Sam Schock from Hauntman. So great golf by them. And something happened on the second place and the first place teams. I think they might have purchased a lot of mulligans from what I hear.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the golfers were saying when Joe announced the first place and second place team. Everybody was talking about how many mulligans did they buy. But our first place team won with Jason Beyer, Dan Dumas, Jay Gastinger, and Brian McFarlane. And our second place team was Drew Ferry, Matt Malin, Jay Parker, and Kyle St. Clair. So congratulations to all you guys. Hey, mulligans or not, y'all still placed and played a good golf game. And like Lacey and I were saying, y'all beat the Mosquitoes, and that deserves an award in itself for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we ran away from the Mosquitoes, or so we thought, to be continued.
Yes.
And a new event that we have recently started at the SMA convention, I think this is probably our 5th year, is we take Thursday night and we allow, this really is the only time that a lot of the suppliers and processors have time to go to dinner and relax for a little bit. And then we give them a little bit of entertainment. And so that evening, we welcomed our Martin Griffin.
Let me just say, Martin Griffin was phenomenal. I mean, he was playing so many hits from George Strait to Keith Urban, even singing some female country artist songs out there. And as we were kind of going through the crowd and talking to fellow members, you can just see everybody singing along, dancing along. He really drew the crowd in, and I was very impressed with him. He did a phenomenal job.
He was great, considering I think he started about 8, and I think he might have walked off stage about 11:30 or midnight.
Oh, wow. And he sang the whole time.
I barely remember the song's words to Ella Langley sometimes.
Yeah. No, he definitely got the crowd's attention. And I definitely think this is not going to be the last time that we see Martin Griffin at an SMA convention. We're definitely going to try and get him as a returning entertainer for future conventions, because he was just great. The feedback from the members was absolutely great. And so we definitely want to give a shout out to him. Thank him for his time. Thank him for coming out there and providing us with some really great entertainment. If y'all haven't checked him out yet, I'm going to shout out his website. It's martingriffinmusic.com. Definitely check him out. He's got some great videos online from his performances that he's done in the past few years.
Yes. And so we closed down the night and we went right in Friday morning with our general session. And Joe Harris and I we work really hard to come up with ideas, and a lot of our members help us too, on topics that are affecting packers and processors in their day-to-day business, but also to our suppliers. We try and give it a well-rounded educational session. And again, this year, I think we did a phenomenal job picking our speakers. And one thing that SMA prides itself on is having such that strong relationship with FSIS, whether it's at the district level to the national level in DC. And this year we had Dr. Mindy Brashears, again, who is the USDA Office of Food Safety Undersecretary. And she came in and she gave us an update on FSIS, their current initiatives and updates. And I think it's great to have someone come in from Washington and be face-to-face with our members and be able to ask questions and get updates directly from Dr. Brashears. And then we also had, this one really threw me for a loop, is we had someone come in from the Small Business Administration, and this gentleman, Mark Winchester, let me tell you.
Shout out to him. He's got some serious passion about what he does.
He does.
And it was so refreshing to see somebody get up there and just almost immediately capture the crowd's attention. And I know he pulled me aside after he spoke, because obviously he saw me getting pictures of him. And he said, hey, I saw you getting some pictures of me. Do you mind sending them to me? Do you mind showing them to me? And I got some really great photos of him interacting with the crowd. And he was like, man, these are some of the best photos I think I've ever had somebody capture of me while I'm up there speaking. And I was like, I told him, I said, you did a phenomenal job. You just lit a fire in the room. You had the crowd so engaged, and your passion was just so obvious and so clear to the audience.
Absolutely. And another thing that SMA has, this is our second year to do this. So in past, we would allow the university, a professor for the most part, to come up before our members and give an update on their academia programs, their facility updates, new professors who may be joining the faculty there. But last year we started actually allowing our scholarship winners, and typically it's a graduate student, to come in and give a 15-minute discussion on their actual research projects. And it's been phenomenal to see these young professionals get up there and discuss their research to our members, and our members are really enjoying it. And I learned Shelton, believe Shelton Lukey was one of our student workers a few years ago, and we've seen him continue to evolve in his education, and he's now at WT. And so he presented on altering environmental pressures at the end of the finishing period as the salmonella mitigation strategy. So it was really cool to hear how they took cattle from South Dakota, I believe. Excuse me, Shelton, if you're listening and I get this wrong, from South Dakota and Texas, and swapped them and was able to see the difference in the salmonella. It was great. And then another good member, always one with a dad joke. Always. Eric Steiner from OFW Law.
Yes.
We love working with OFW Law, and Eric sure does make it entertaining. And he came to give some policy updates that's happening there in Washington and on the Hill, especially in regards to the Farm Bill, Prop 12, and anything that's going on right now. It seems to be ever evolving on the Hill. And we work very closely with OFW Law when we go on our advocacy trips in DC.
Yeah, no, as Lacey mentioned, Eric's got some phenomenal dad jokes, and he does it so meticulously. I mean, when we were at the welcoming reception was the first time I met him, and Lacey had pulled me aside and said, hey, he's got some really great dad jokes. I'm gonna just let you know before you go introduce yourself. And I mean, we probably weren't 30 seconds into a conversation, and he just very nonchalantly, very casually slipped in a dad joke. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be somebody that I'm going to look forward to seeing every single convention. And he's definitely just a light in the room. He really makes you laugh. And again, he's also one that his passion for what he does is just so obvious. And so I was very thankful to meet him and to build that networking relationship with him.
Absolutely. And then again, another scholarship winner, Nathan Barrett, he's from Texas A&M, and he presented on finishing regimen impacts on carcass and meat quality of lamb. And so I heard lots of good things from members after his presentation, that we don't really necessarily have a lot of lamb or members that slaughter lamb, but they really took hold of what he was presenting. And then a fan favorite, Dr. Anderson.
Yes.
If you come to an SMA convention or an SMA conference, you can count on having Dr. Anderson there, whether he's bringing you good news or bad news.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a joke between me and Dr. Anderson. I always ask him, okay, is it going to be good news or bad news? What are we going to hear? And so again, it always depends on the commodity that you have in your facility, but he does a great job, and he brings it with such a lighthearted attitude that it really, our members find it entertaining.
Absolutely. I mean, just all of the professors and faculty that come from these universities, they're always a joy to see, especially Lacey and I, both of our bachelors and masters, from Sam Houston and Texas A&M. And so being able to see a lot of these faculty and professors coming back to now being speakers for us here at SMA is almost just kind of like a full circle moment, and seeing that they still just enjoy teaching people about what they do is always great to hear. I remember meeting Dr. Anderson at Meet Forum, and one of the first things he told me was, you are always going to see me at an SMA event. I love speaking to your members. I love speaking at these events. And he was right. I was really looking forward to seeing him again at convention, and he delivered, and he did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. Well, we finished out our general session on Friday morning, and we went straight to lunch, and it was a great lunch.
It was a phenomenal lunch. Again, this was my first convention, and Lacey and Joe have just been hyping up the Best of the Worst event. And this is a long-standing event with SMA. We definitely want to shout out Amy Springer with Hotman for putting this event together every single year for SMA. She does an absolutely phenomenal job. Everything was so seamless, and you can really tell that she's very passionate and cares so much about this event. And everything was just structured so seamlessly. And so being a first-time attendee to this event, I could see that clear as day, and just the way that everything was organized, the way that the answer sheet was organized, and how they kind of facilitated the whole thing. It was phenomenal.
Yes. And if you've never attended an SMA convention, I'll tell you a little bit about what the Best of the Worst family luncheon is. We have about 10 sausage manufacturers enter the Best of the Worst. And what they do is it's a blind entry. They give us the variety, or the, I guess I should say, flavor of sausage that they will be entering. And each participant in the lunch, everyone that is served, gets one of each of their one bite, not a whole link. Goodness, that would be a lot. A taste of each of their sausages, and you get to vote on the people's choice. And I'll go ahead and say my choice was the Texas beef grillers from Mockers.
Yeah, that one was really good. Honestly, and again, this is my first year, so I don't have much to compare it to, but it was so difficult for me to pick my number one out of everyone. I even went back for seconds, and I'm going to be real honest, even thirds on some of them, because I was just that conflicted on which one to pick. So the one that I ended up going with, I love me some spice. I love me some spicy sausage. So I went with the spicy Louisiana sausage from Man Defined Meats.
Yes, that one was good.
That one was good. Now, you gotta have a love for spice for sure. There was some people that, my husband included, was like, that is one spicy sausage, but the flavor was just absolutely phenomenal. And that's the one that I went back for thirds on. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely my winner.
Absolutely, especially in Texas, Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Another really unique sausage that was there was a Gaucho Steakhouse sausage from J. Barbie Foods.
Oh yeah, that one was really good.
It was a very unique flavor, and it was really good. It was honestly in my top 5 for sure. Some couple of other shout outs we want to give before we announce who the big winner was for the Best of the Worst family luncheon. And we had a roasted garlic hickory sausage from Kielbasa, smoked sausage with Gouda from Yoakum Pack, a smoked chicken cranberry apple sausage from 1845 Ranch House. And I think that one really blew some people out of the water.
That one was, I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, man, cranberries and meat, all right. But hey, I gave it a go, and I was absolutely blown away. It just worked. It fit together so well. The flavors were amazing. That one was definitely one of my top ones.
It was like Thanksgiving.
It was like an all-in-one Thanksgiving meal.
Absolutely.
It was so good.
And then we had a Southern-style smoked pork sausage from Fatback Pig Project. And this one was really creative, was the smoked jalapeno popper sausage from Tarleton State University. Shout out.
Yes, that one was really good. I mean, you can't go wrong with a jalapeno popper, but then you put it in sausage, and it's just a win-win.
Absolutely. And then another university that stepped up to the plate and entered the Best of the Worst was WT with a bacon and cheddar smoked sausage. Again, top 5.
Phenomenal. Yes, agreed.
But who was the winner?
The winner was Smoky Denmark sausage. Their sausage was phenomenal. I mean, obviously they won. They had the most votes out of everybody. And I mean, Smoky Denmark, they just got good sausage all the way around, honestly. I don't think I've ever had any kind of Smoky Denmark sausage that I did not want to eat just a whole entire plate of.
Absolutely. Yes. And again, you would vote for Smoky Denmark because it was that jalapeno and cheddar sausage.
Absolutely.
A true Texas classic.
Yes, you can't go wrong with it.
Well, we did something a little different. We usually do it. We have to have an entertainment while we're counting 450 ballots. So this year we played bingo. And it was intense. You could have heard a pin drop.
It was. And we did it kind of the old school way. We had the big old barrel where you roll it and the ball kind of rolls out, and we call the letter and the number. And the second that barrel started getting real low on bingo balls, you could just feel the intensity in the room. And then it was so funny. I told Lacey, I said, the second somebody calls bingo, you can just hear everybody release and debrief. And it was an absolute hit. And this was the first time that SMA's done bingo in about 10 years, right, Lacey?
Yeah. And I think we're going to see it again next year.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, then comes the most stressful part for me and you.
Yes. Friday, all in all, is just our busiest day. I mean, it's just packed full with so many events. But yeah, right after we finished Best of the Worst, we really got into one of the biggest events in the SMA convention. That is our Supplier Showcase.
Yes. We had a drum roll, please. 92 companies participate in our Supplier Showcase. This is the biggest showcase we have ever had. And by far, I would just look out from across the room, and we were in a big convention expo hall, and that place was packed with people. And I mean, it was an excellent turnout. And I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite tables that was there. They really went all out with their table setup, and that's Supply One. So Scott Ripper, if you're listening to this, shout out. You did an amazing job, even with your little floor mat down there on the floor. And a couple of other of our favorite booths is Start Clean. Again, great giveaways.
Yeah, they had those different colors, baseball caps, and have the Start Clean logo and the SMA logo. And man, I think they were quote unquote sold out because they were free giveaways, but they were sold out. I don't know, maybe an hour into the showcase. I mean, they were a hot camaraderie for sure amongst the members and amongst the other exhibitors for sure.
Absolutely. And then again, it's always fun to see the universities participate in the Supplier Showcase. And WT has some great giveaways too. They had I don't really know what you call it. We call it a feed sack bag, but I grabbed one. I should have grabbed like 5, but
I know I when you told me about it and Addie, one of our student workers, told me about it, I was so bummed that I didn't get it. And I was like, Addie, you got to find a way to get me one of those, because that is a really cool idea, especially with how much we travel and when we do these events. Having an extra bag is just, you can't go wrong with it.
Oh, especially as a mom. Come on. But there's one thing that found its way down there to the Supplier Showcase.
Yeah, what's that?
The mosquitoes.
Oh, the mosquitoes.
Again, they were bad. They
bad.
weren't as bad in the Supplier Showcase, but
yeah,
I guess that's what we get for having a convention at the Gulf Coast.
Yeah. And I mean, again, shout out to Amy Springer for coming in with some citronella candles and some bug spray. And yeah, this year, SMA convention, I think one of the biggest things was the battle of the mosquitoes. They followed us absolutely everywhere. But I think we all, I mean, not that we had a choice, but we all powered through it pretty good.
We did. We did. And then we rounded out the Supplier Showcase and we headed straight to dinner. This was our Surfin USA dinner. And our Friday night dinner and auction, we always do a theme. And this is probably our biggest driver for our SMA Foundation scholarships. And it was fun to see everybody dressed up in their Surfin USA attire, however you took the term Surfin USA. We had Uncle Sam. He made an appearance.
Yeah, he did.
And then me and Brittany even had a little fun costume up our sleeve too. It took people a minute to kind of see the camouflage Dr. Joe Harris in our Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, this was something that Lacey and I, a few months ago, we were really trying to figure out what do we want to do for Surfin USA again, because you could go either way with it. You can do more beach theme, more surfing vibes, or you can go more USA vibes. And me and Lacey were really adamant on kind of finding that best of both and doing it in a way that fits us as SMA staff and kind of makes us stand out a little bit. And she came running down the hallway into my office and she was like, I have the perfect idea. And I mean, I think we had those shirts ordered in like 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was so quick. And so I definitely think those were an absolute hit. We actually kept it as a surprise from Joe. So he had no idea what we would be wearing and we never said anything to him. And so we approached him at the Supplier Showcase, walked straight in there looking for Joe Harris, and actually did get a video of his reaction. And he just kind of almost dropped to his knees, dying laughing. He was like, I cannot believe y'all did this. And he absolutely loved it. And so I think if that explains to anybody how much we really appreciate our boss and everything that he does for us, it's not many people would wear their boss's face on a shirt.
Absolutely. But if you weren't there in person and you didn't get to see it, or maybe you didn't find Joe on our shirt, stay tuned. I'm sure you'll see something on social media.
Oh yeah, we're going to be posting a lot of pictures for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But one of the funniest moments that night, we seem to always introduce something new, but this year we played heads or tails.
Yes, that one, I think it was confusing at first. A lot of people, I mean, it was new for us. We've never done it before. It was something that Lacey learned about at a family event that she was at, and she brought it to Joe and I and was like, hey, I think we should really give this a try. And once people figured it out, we actually had our student workers go up there and give a demonstration. And I think once people saw the demonstration and kind of figured out the gist of the game, they were like, this is going to be a great opportunity for my 7-year-old son or my father, who's maybe 60 years old. And it was really cool to see just a wide age range of members out there participating in this game.
Absolutely. And basically the gist of the game is you wear a light up ring. You can have up to 3 is how many we sold. And you'll select your head or your tail. And you have to put your hand on your head or your tail.
Mm-hmm.
And then our auctioneer will flip a coin. And as long as you're still winning, you're still in the game. And we gave away a wonderful prize of $2,000 cash to our members, or well, not our members, but one member.
The winner.
The winner.
The winner of it all. Yeah.
Yes. But let's talk about the highlight of the night with the auction.
Our auction was so much fun. It went so smoothly. Jason Byer was our auctioneer, and as always, he just did a phenomenal job. He's definitely got a knack for that, and he got the crowd's attention. And we had some really great prizes this year in the auction as well.
We did. Me and Brittany even brought some home.
We did. We were sitting there watching the auction and kind of talking with each other. And I'm like, man, Lacey, I think we deserve to bid on some items here. And she was like, you know what? Let's do it. And it was intense. It was a nail biter for sure. I mean, getting down to the last second, and we were both getting outbid by a couple people. And we were like, should we bid even higher? Should we do it? Yeah, we deserve it. Let's do it. And we ended up walking away with the items that we wanted. And so we were excited about that for sure.
We did. We apologized to whoever we were bidding against. But this year, again, another drum roll moment. Our auction, live and silent auction, raised roughly $73,000 to scholarships.
That's amazing.
It is. It truly, truly is, just to see the commitment from our members to continue to put their dollars in the future of our next industry leaders.
Absolutely. And with the new online platform that we use for our silent auction, us as admin, we were actually able to kind of see the total revenue just grow and build as each minute of the auction went on. And I mean, each minute went by, it just went up a couple $1,000s each time. And me and Lacey were just so shocked. We were so grateful to see that number. And then once the auction ended and we saw the total, I think we gave each other a high five for everything, because it was we were just extremely excited about everything and how the whole event went that night.
Absolutely. A great evening. And we were able to then take a real big deep breath and head into Saturday and think, okay, we are almost to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
And we started Saturday off strong with our general session. And right before our general session, we had an informal Q&A with Dr. Mindy Brashears, or we called it Coffee with Dr. Mindy Brashears. And we had an excellent turnout. I was kind of worried with all of our members staying out so late bidding on items, but we had a phenomenal turnout. And again, it's just a good time. It's an informal meeting with Dr. Brashears to be one-on-one, ask your questions, because again, sometimes your question is another question that someone else has to ask to or wants the answer to. So It was great. It was great.
Hello, meat people. This is Rick Kimbrell with Start Clean. I want to share with you real quick about how ocean near misses and recordables can be related to each other. We chose to reduce the number of recordables by using the red card, yellow cards used in soccer. We use it proactively to coach safety and to have more conversations with our employees about safety. It's familiar, it's non-threatening, it's a great warning system. Call us, it's a free program. I'll be happy to share it with you to keep all of our meat people safe.
A highlight for our speaker program from Saturday is, again, we had a lot of university updates there on Saturday. We had Alana from Tarleton State University discussing educational level influences on consumer preferences in beef labeling. So that was really good. And then we also had a fan favorite again. It seemed to be a trend with the Davids. That's kind of what we call them in SMAs, the Davids. But David Barron with Cozen O'Connor. We work very closely with that law firm as far as workplace and employment law, because if you were a business owner or a C-suite executive level HR, you know those laws are ever changing. And so it's good to hear from him, and he gives a little humor to it sometimes. I think you have to when you're talking about workplace and employment law.
Definitely.
And again, we had a student from Prairie View A&M discussing experimental learning through extension partnerships, advancing student learning and career readiness. And this was a great predecessor to our soon-to-come panel that morning.
Yes.
This panel, I love a panel discussion.
Oh, yeah, no. And I think the individuals within this panel were a great group of individuals. They just kind of almost ping-ponged off of each other throughout the conversation. And I was in there taking photos and video content. And there was one point I almost forgot that I was taking photo and video content because I was so engaged in the conversation they were having up there.
Yes. And so our moderator was no other than Dr. Jeff Sable from Texas A&M University. And panelist was Dr. Trent Schwartz, WT, Dr. Mark Miller from Texas Tech, Jason Holcomb of Start Clean, and Jonathan Sable from Standard Meat. I don't know if he had to do this because his dad was the moderator, but no. And their panel discussion was basically raising the stakes on talent and how to recruit and retain Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Which a topic like that is so important in today's workforce. I mean, we have so many students coming out of college that are going to companies that are our SMA members that are looking for jobs. And so it's important for them to kind of know how to adapt to these companies. And it's important for these companies to know how to adapt to these younger crowds for sure.
Absolutely. I saw a lot of students in that crowd too. So I'm hoping that they were able to take something away from it as well. And then some other representatives, Dr. Sydney Lammers of Sam Houston State University, go Bearcats. And this is Anna. Sorry, I'm going to butcher your new last name, but I know her as Anna Wiley. She was one of our interns about 2 or 3 years ago. She's now married, so excuse me, Anna. And she discussed current research initiatives in beef industry sustainability, quality, and safety. At Texas Tech, they know what they're doing up there.
Absolutely. And that was another full circle moment to see somebody that was involved with SMA throughout their college journey who is now up there presenting to our SMA members.
Absolutely. And then we rounded it out with a topic that I think we're going to continue to hear for quite some time. And that was Eric Schaefer. His company is Phase Wheel. I believe they're based out of Austin, Texas. And he discussed artificial intelligence. And is your company on the list?
Yeah, that's a hot topic nowadays. And so having somebody like Eric be able to get up there and just provide his expertise on a topic like that and how we can use it to the best of our ability and in a way that just really benefits us was a new topic. It was an exciting topic. And I definitely would like to see more of him.
Oh, for sure. I think we'll be seeing him again at a near future SMA convention or conference. But after that, I finally got to go see the beach.
Oh my gosh, I know. We finally got to get a break. I told Lacey, look, I'm really contemplating between 3 things: taking a nap, and going to the pool. And going to the pool was the winner.
Going to the pool won. It was a great time to just relax and really start to take it all in. That's about when it all comes full circle, is Saturday afternoon, and you can kind of relax with the members and finally say, okay, I'm one of you. I can come relax at the pool for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was really nice to kind of get out there in more of an informal and a little less of a professional setting. And Lacey and I obviously just had so many members come up to us in the pool and just give us their thanks and just their appreciation on how amazing that this year's event has gone, and just be able to sit out there and create some memories and share some laughs, share some drinks. And it definitely was short-lived. I probably could have stayed out there a whole nother 10 hours.
Oh, absolute fact. Absolutely. And then we had our chairman's dinner and awards, and we had 25 scholarship winners there with us to accept their awards. This year, SMA was so incredibly blessed to give away $171,000 in scholarships. I think we gave away 50 scholarships this year. We had about 25 students there in person on Saturday from schools ranging from Texas A&M, Texas Tech, West Texas A&M, and even some new ones. We had Prairie View A&M University, Colorado State, University of Nebraska, and Purdue University represented.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were really excited to see some newer universities, some out-of-state universities come into our scholarship application pool. And I believe we had a total of 163 applicants this year, which is phenomenal. And I credit a lot of that, of course, to our amazing members just helping us advertise these scholarship opportunities, these university faculty, and then, of course, social media, going back to this generation, this Gen Z generation. They love their social media, and that's how they learn about a lot of these opportunities. And so it was really cool to just see the wide range of university applicants that we had.
Yes, it's fun, even over this being my 9th convention, to continue to see those numbers grow, whether it's a number of applicants or the dollars given away. And it's really a heartfelt moment to continue to see our SMA footprint, continuing to grow. And another really, really special event that happens on Saturday night is we get to induct people into the SMA Hall of Honor. And we had some really true heroic people get inducted into the Hall of Honor.
I was getting choked up.
I did too.
Just everything that Joe and Bobby and Ken were up there saying about these individuals, and just how deserving they were of this Hall of Honor award. You could definitely just feel the love and the family bond in the room. And it was a phenomenal moment to be a part of and to experience.
Yes. And so on Saturday, we welcomed Ray and Donna Kimbrell with Start Clean into the SMA Hall of Honor. And then one of my absolute favorite ladies.
I think she's everybody's favorite.
Sorry, Cecilia, if you hear this, but I just quote you as the SMA grandma. And so, and one great thing about Cecilia, it doesn't matter when I'm talking to her or if I'm emailing with her, she always says, okay, love you, bye.
Yeah.
And that is Cecilia Raley with Jim Henry Enterprises.
Yeah. I remember the first phone call that I ever had with her. She called the SMA office, and I know she said the same thing to Joe, and she said the same thing to Lacey when they both started SMA. She was like, I'm only going to tell you who I am once, and you better remember it. But she means that with just so much love and so much compassion and respect for SMA and all of our members. And I was absolutely honored to be able to go up there and finally meet her in person and shake her hand. And she gave me the biggest hug. And yeah, you're right. She's definitely just the SMA grandma. And you could tell she absolutely loves every part of her journey within SMA and every member there. And I think she's definitely excited to see us continue to grow as an association, for sure.
Absolutely. And she's actually she's a part of the first father-daughter inductees into the Hall of Honor.
That is awesome.
Her dad, Jim Henry, was one of the founding members of SMA, and he got inducted to the Hall of Honor a few years ago.
That's awesome.
Yes. Well, then we got to dancing.
We did. We danced our butts off, for sure. Our DJ was phenomenal. He played some really great music. I mean, everything from kid-friendly songs to current number one hits like Ella Langley. I mean, he played really great music. He definitely had the crowd engaged the whole time.
Members are having fun when they're out there dancing to the Hokey Pokey.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, no, it was. And again, that just brings us right back to what we talked about earlier. It's just that family bond and that family experience that we really strive for just within our association, but especially at these events. And I got some really cool videos and photos of, dads dancing with their daughters and grandpas dancing with their grandkids out there doing the Hokey Pokey. And it was a really cool moment to be a part of.
Absolutely. And it was one fantastic convention.
It was. I mean, we were busy for sure. We definitely had a lot of highs, and I'd say really the only low was about the mosquitoes. But again, we battled through those really well, and I think by Saturday night we were really able to take a deep breath and just kind of thank each other for all of our hard work, and thank all of our members for being there, and all of our sponsors that helped make this happen. And for this being my very first convention, it's going to be a tough one to beat in the next coming years for sure.
Well, you want to get into this is my favorite part of podcast, rapid fire.
Yeah. Gotta love some good rapid fire questions.
We'll see how rapid we are.
Yeah, right. All right. I guess I'll go ahead and start with the first one. Lacey, what was your favorite part of convention?
For me, it's putting the names to the faces.
Yes.
And continuing. I mean, sometimes I don't see some of our members for a whole year. And so it's fun to reconnect, and we all just pick up right where we left off.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm right there with you. I think my absolute favorite part of convention was being able to meet a lot of these people that I've been emailing with back and forth for months, and having multiple phone conversations with for months, and just preparation of this event, and finally being able to put faces to names and shake their hand and introduce myself, and just see their excitement for being a part of SMA, and then also being able to share my passion for being a part of SMA and having them as members of the association. So I'm right there with you. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of convention.
Can't go wrong with that. Brittany, what would you tell someone who has never attended an SMA convention? I mean, this is your first one. So.
Yeah, I would definitely say talk to as many people as you can. Just network yourself, whether it's for business or whether it's more for personal and pleasure. I mean, just shake hands, introduce yourself. I mean, any opportunity that I had to see someone that was standing alone, or even a small group that was just having a simple conversation. I mean, just walking up to them and introducing myself and figuring out a way to be a part of that conversation and make a lasting connection with them and a lasting memory with them. And so I would say for somebody who has never attended to SMA convention, just get out there and network yourself, build those connections, build those relationships. And I definitely know that a lot of the people that I met, I will forever have a relationship with. And to me, that you just can't beat that.
No, you're 100% right. And I believe it was 2 years ago when SMA staff and our board of directors sat down and we went through a strategic plan, and we decided that our number one core value is family. And that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. We welcome your family, but we're also an SMA family.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable just in every event that we do, and every table that you walk by that's eating a good dinner and a good meal. It's definitely noticeable that even though they might be your competing company, that they are still your SMA family member.
Absolutely.
All right, Lacey, this one's a big one for you. I mean, 9 years of convention. What went wrong behind the scenes that no one typically ever notices?
There's a lot. And I think the best part about it is making it look seamless.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I can't tell you how many steps I got that day on Friday when Supplier Showcase was getting set up, and one of my members came up to me and said, "Hey, Lacey, they're taking away that bar." And I said, "No, they're not." Yeah. And so that was a quick fire to put out. So there were some others. Again, this was an excellent venue. That we had some ups and downs with some of the staff, but again, truly, I don't think a lot of our members saw the headaches that we had, and we didn't have a whole bunch, but
no. Truthfully, for me, it was a lot of the little things, like the registration banner that went on the registration desk just did not fit, right?
Yes.
And even though from somebody who wouldn't know, and at a naked eye, it looked so great and it looked so seamless, but to us, the ones that are designing it, creating the measurements, getting the print order done, just little things like that, the table reservations and having reservation cards and just little things like that. But I think we do really well as working together as a team and making sure that those types of moments just kind of go unnoticed to our members.
Yes. And I was on my way down to Galveston, and the signage people said they were on their way. I said, okay, I'll be there I'm 30 minutes out. And luckily I arrived when I did, because I think he was about to hang up our banners right smack in the middle of the hotel lobby.
Oh, wow. Okay, little things that just nobody else would notice. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well,
I think I want to ask you this one.
Okay, go for it. Go.
What are members missing out on by not attending convention?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much. I try and get as many people there as I can, but I think what you're missing out on is, again, it goes without saying, joining the SMA family. We are a welcoming crowd. We love to see new faces at convention. And it truly is something no matter what event you're attending with, well, whether it's the welcome reception, a general session, supplier showcase, whatever it may be, you're going to take something away from it, whether it's from a conversation or a speaker. You're going to take something away and take it to your business. Mm-hmm. And it's truly something that I find a lot of times is new attendees at our conventions. They're like, we always wanted to come. We always wanted to come, but we never could get around to it, or something would come up at the plant. And this year we were finally able to make it, but you can count on us coming every year after.
Yeah. Once you go, you're hooked.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I definitely heard a lot of that in a lot of the conversations I had.
All right, Brittany. Who was someone you never met before that you finally got the chance to meet?
Man, I mean, everybody. This was my very first convention. So, I mean, just getting the opportunity to just meet everybody and their spouses and their kids, and just seeing how grateful they are to be a part of SMA. But the first two that really stood out to me the most, that really came to my head, was Pat Nicholson and Jim Andusek. Night one, Wednesday night, me and Pat, we were sitting at the bar, and we had been sitting there for maybe an hour or two, just having such a phenomenal conversation about what SMA does for our people and our members, and the passion that I already have in the only 7 months that I had been here. And I remember Pat saying, "You've really only been here for 7 months. That's insane." And he was even telling me that he's so excited to see my journey continue and for me to grow and flourish throughout the next few years. And that one was a big one for me. And then Jim Andusek, I don't think there was a moment that he let me walk by without him giving me a hug, making sure I was okay. And he made me feel very appreciative. And he always was just taking the opportunity to make sure that I was good to go, that I was well fed, I was well rested. And so I'd say for me, those were the two biggest ones that I was very, very grateful to meet. But again, I mean, just everybody, being able to meet everybody for the first time and building those relationships. I'm very, very grateful and fortunate for that.
Yeah, it's always, you always like it when a member comes up to you and says, "Have you eaten tonight?
Yeah.
Are you drinking any water?"
Yes. Yeah. I will say I was chugging the water, and I don't know if it was the mosquitoes were getting it out of me or all the steps we were taking or what, but I know Lacey and I just kept checking on each other with the water, and we were like, man, we just feel so dehydrated. But no, we were doing good. And I really appreciate everybody just checking up on us like they were.
Absolutely.
All right, Lacey, after 9 conventions, what still makes you look forward to coming back every single year?
Yes, it's hard to believe that this was number 9 for me, and 2027 is going to be year 10. But what makes me look forward to convention, even after all the headaches and everything, I feel like I sound a little bit like a broken record, but it's continuing to see our members, and it's always nice to see them all in one place.
Definitely.
And it's fun because there for a few years, we didn't have a lot of little kids running around. And now I have my 2 knucklehead little boys who, they don't come to a lot of conventions because mom's just running around so much. But when they do come, everyone is so excited to see my boys. And I catch so much flack for not bringing them. And I think me and my husband were told, don't ever come back to convention without your boys. And which next year will be better, and it's fun to see our members' kids year after year and watching them grow. And now we have a whole corner dedicated to them on Friday night with just their activities and things to keep them busy while mom and dad are having conversations with great people and just raising money for scholarships. But other than that, it's just seeing our members. And I hate to call them members all the time because a lot of them are they're friends at this point.
Yeah.
So
definitely. All right. I guess these next few we can ask each other.
Okay.
So who was your favorite speaker? I know that's so hard. That's a hard one to pick out of the bunch, but who was your favorite?
I'm reviewing the list right here. I think my favorite, I'm going to go with the panel. I'm going to go with Dr. Sable and his panelists. And I'm going to say that one was just an overall good one.
Yeah, I think my favorite, honestly, I'm going to stick with Texas A&M, was Dr. David Anderson on the livestock marketing. Again, he was one that I met at Meat Forum, and I could just tell how excited he was to be there and how excited he was to come back to convention. And I'm just really excited to see just his passion for what he does and his passion for SMA and just for talking to our members and educating them.
Absolutely. All right, what was your favorite meal? We may agree on this one.
Oh, it had to have been that shrimp appetizer.
Oh, the shrimp appetizer. Okay, I was going to say something else, but yes, we went up to the Sherns. I think it's like one of the nicest steakhouses in Galveston.
It's on the 9th floor of the hotel.
Of Moody Gardens. And we were there with our chairman of the board, or now past chairman of the board, Bobby Yarbrough and Dr. Joe Harris, and our families. And oh my gosh, I think we were all dreaming about that. I don't even remember what it was called.
I don't remember either. I just know that it was heaven in a bowl. And we were all just kind of fighting for the last bite.
We were.
It was absolutely amazing.
We were. But okay, well then I guess I'll say what came in second place because I completely forgot about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the best of the worst. I truly look forward to that one every year.
Yeah.
So.
Just the sausage lineup, like we said, was absolutely phenomenal. And just being able to actually eat the products that our member companies get to make and sell every single day. That one was definitely my second for sure.
Yes.
All right. What was the funniest moment of the week?
I'm going to say listening to the conversations of our student workers.
Oh my gosh, yes. They had every topic of conversation that you could possibly think of.
Yes.
And yeah, they were having some funny conversations. I'll kind of agree with you there, but I'll throw in a specific individual for this one. Mine was Meredith. I mean, I know you and I had talked about it. She's a little more quiet and introverted here in the office, and getting out there, she was the boss, and she knew what she was doing, and she got along with those student workers so well, and just kind of directing them and guiding them and telling them what needed to be done. And not necessarily that it was funny, but just kind of seeing her very quickly break out of that shell. It was very interesting to see. And I think at one point I told her, I didn't know you can speak this many words. So that one was definitely a good one for the week.
Absolutely. I've already warned her if she doesn't have any summer plans in 2027, she's coming right back.
Oh, agreed. I second that for sure.
This is going to be a hard one.
I know.
One word to describe the 70th annual convention. Besides mosquitoes.
Yeah. I don't ever want to think about those mosquitoes again. I mean, with this being my first, for me, I would definitely say family.
Yeah.
I mean, truly recognizing the opportunity that I had with getting this job here at SMA. And I mean, me not even knowing when I accepted this job, knowing that I would also be gaining a whole new family, and just the love and the passion that they pour into this association. They pour into us as staff. So that would be my one word to describe my very first convention as family.
Yes, it's truly, truly like a family reunion every single year. I'm going to go a little bit more, I hate to say this, serious word, but advocates. I think everyone that participates in the SMA convention is an advocate for this industry, no matter what side of the aisle they sit on, whether they're a supplier or they are a packer or processor. They are an advocate for each other as competitors. I know there's plenty of stories myself and Joe could sit down and tell stories about how members helped members in certain situations, whether it was a hurricane or generator went out or somebody's facility caught fire. But they are truly advocates for each other. And I've talked to some people, they were like, I don't know if I can really help them, but I'm going to go over there next week and see what kind of problem they have and see what I can do to help. And so, yes, just advocates for each other.
Yeah, I agree. That one's definitely a good one. Well, I think that wraps up our rapid fire questions. I think you're right. I don't know if that was pretty rapid, but I think we really highlighted our 2026 70th annual convention and supplier showcase just phenomenally this year. It went really well. We had some great times, and I hope all of our listeners that weren't able to attend got a really good idea of everything that went on this year. And those that were able to attend, I hope we highlighted some of your favorite moments and some of your favorite memories. And I think we're getting ready to close out.
All right. Well, do you want to announce the winner?
Yeah. So one new thing that we are starting to do, along with Lacey and I doing these recap episodes, is also doing a podcast guest raffle. And so if you at all were at our registration desk during convention, you probably saw a little raffle box that says, are you interested in being on the Meet People podcast with our host, Neil Dudley? Drop your business card in here, and we're going to do a random drawing twice a year at each of these events. So convention and Meet Forum, we'll do a drawing. And whoever the winner is will get to be a part of their episode and talk about their history with SMA, their company, and kind of what SMA has been able to for them. And so we're going to go ahead and do our podcast guest raffle drawing now. All right. And our podcast guest raffle drawing for the first ever is Colby DeFries with Smoky Denmark. Cue the applause.
Yes.
No, I think this is going to be a really good one. He's been with SMA for a while. I actually learned that his two children have been coming to these events since they were very, very little, and they've been out there helping their dad with everything and handing out sausage wraps during the golf tournament and everything. So I'm excited. I think Colby's going to be a great one.
He's going to be a great guest, and we'll continue to take names for the next podcast.
Definitely.
Always.
Absolutely. Well, I think that wraps up our recap episode of the 70th Annual Convention Supplier Showcase. For my very first convention, I can honestly say it exceeded every expectation that I had. And it was incredible to see so many people come together to learn, to network, and to support SMA and the SMA Foundation. And I had an absolutely great time doing it all.
And even after 9 conventions, it's still one of my favorite weeks of the year. Every convention brings something new, whether it's reconnecting with longtime members, welcoming first-time attendees, or even seeing how our industry continues to grow and evolve. It's a reminder of what makes the Southwest Meat Association such a special organization.
And we also just want to take the opportunity to say a huge thank you to everyone who made this year's convention possible. Everybody from our sponsors, our exhibitors, speakers, volunteers, our student workers, our attendees, and just all of our SMA members. Your support is what makes this event such a success year after year.
And if you joined us in Galveston, thank you for being part of such a memorable week. And if you couldn't make it this year, we hope this episode gave you a glimpse of everything you missed and even convinced you to join us next time.
So next time, be sure to mark your calendars for the 71st Annual Convention Supplier Showcase, taking place July 28th to the 31st, 2027 at the beautiful Hyatt Regency Lost Pine Resort and Spa in Bastrop, Texas. We really cannot wait to see everybody there.
Thanks for listening to the Meet People podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And we'll be back after Meat Forum with another event recap and more stories from around the meat industry.
Until next time, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for Lacey and I's next recap episode after the Meat Forum in February 2027.